Hi, I'm Mark, and this is Let's Vibe, the channel all about crystals and our feelings. Now, in this video, I want to focus on the chakras, particularly one of the minor chakras. Now, you may be familiar with chakras. Chakras are energy centers in specific places around our bodies. And these are centers where energy flows, and these energy centers regulate our emotions, our physical bodies, our mental body, our spiritual body. When it comes to energy, the chakras are very, very important to every human being, whether they're aware of their own chakras or not. So you might be familiar with the 7 major chakras. The 7 major ones are the root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. But we have many other chakras besides the 7 major ones. And those other chakras are called minor chakras. And most of them, are not paid much attention to, but some of these minor chakras can be really important. I've found in my own healing work that some of these minor chakras can be really important when it comes to healing certain things. And the minor chakra that I wanted to focus on in this video is coincidentally called the crystal chakra. So a couple years ago, I realized that I am sensitive to Reiki energy. So Reiki is a energetic healing practice. Reiki itself is a healing energy, kind of like a life force energy. And Reiki practitioners will channel this Reiki energy and use their hands and often crystals to direct this energy to different chakras or use it for specific purposes. And I became familiar with all of this by watching Reiki videos on YouTube. There are quite a few Reiki practitioners who have YouTube channels, and what they like to do is transmit Reiki healing through videos. And oftentimes you'll see them sitting in front of the camera with their hands up and channeling or transmitting the Reiki energy through the video. Or sometimes you don't even see them because they don't have to be visible in order for you to receive the energy. Anyway, I found out that I'm sensitive to this energy and I actually benefit from it. And I found a channel called Rest Relaxation Reiki. It's run by a Reiki practitioner named Lourdes. And she has so many videos on her channel, each one for a different purpose. Reiki can be used for any kind of healing, any kind of support or help or goal that you have in mind. It's such an incredibly diverse healing modality. But I came across Lourdes's videos on the minor chakras, and in these videos she's sending Reiki energy to specific minor chakras. And one of her videos is Reiki for the crystal chakra. Now, the crystal chakra is located right, you can see right here, it's right beneath the sternum, just above the diaphragm. So it's basically right in the middle between the solar plexus and the heart chakra. Now, I had never heard of this chakra before. I think most people have not heard of it. And in the video, Lourdes explains that not much is really known about this chakra. And I've tried to do a little bit of research on my own, and so far I haven't found anything on this chakra, at least not in English. So I found that very curious, but even more interesting or more intriguing to me was as I played this video and received this energy for this specific chakra, I realized something that was a pretty major breakthrough for me. So, growing up, I experienced a lot of anxiety, especially getting into my teenage years. I started to have panic attacks, and anxiety was a battle, a very, very hard battle. There would be periods when it wasn't so bad, but there were so many periods, so many long periods where anxiety was just a daily battle. And it was severe, and it was very hard to function. Now, I think I think anxiety can feel differently depending on well, I actually don't know what it depends on, but I've experienced different forms of anxiety over the years. And one of the things that as a kid, I had a bad experience on an airplane once during a flight. I was flying to visit my grandparents, and it wasn't a super long flight, but long enough so that we ended up passing through a thunderstorm, and we had some pretty major turbulence, and it was just a very, very scary experience for me. I was traveling by myself at the time, 12 years old. And that incident, that experience eventually triggered, it wasn't long after that I experienced my first really full-blown panic attack. And it was directly related to that experience, because I basically thought I was gonna die on that plane. I thought we were gonna crash. It was very frightening. And so that started a long pattern of anxiety, and up until that point, I had always loved flying. I had no problem with it, but after that one scary experience, flying suddenly became so terrifying. All I could think of was dying in some crash. And unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, I had to fly a lot, mainly to visit family. And I say fortunately only because, looking back, perhaps being forced to fly so often, perhaps that helped me to eventually get over these fears, but it was hell. It took a long time to get over that fear. And even after getting over the main fear of flying and being able to comfortably sit on a plane, even after that, I still noticed I had this very automatic anxious response whenever I was getting ready to travel somewhere. And it didn't matter what I did. I could not address this feeling of anxiety that would just run through me like an automatic program. And it wasn't a crippling kind of anxiety, but it was very bothersome. no amount of medication could touch it. No amount of positive thinking seemed to be able to touch it. It felt like it was inaccessible, and I didn't know what to do. And this went on for years, like 2 decades. But then I found this Reiki video for the crystal chakra. And as I was watching this video, receiving this energy, and I realized this spot is exactly the spot where I feel that automatic anxiety. And that was a game changer. That was a major breakthrough. Just being able to identify that this spot, which is supposedly the crystal chakra, that was the center of this anxiety that I could not touch, but the Reiki energy could touch it. And I played that video a number of times over a period of time. And I noticed, when it came time to travel again, I noticed with the help of that Reiki energy, that anxiety that I'd had for like 25 years had dissipated. And I was able to get ready to travel, go to the airport, sit at my gate, and feel no sense of anxiety. And that was huge. And so I realized, okay, there's this, first of all, yes, there is a chakra here. And for whatever reason, this anxious, traumatic experience was held in that place, in that chakra. And treating it with Reiki and with the help of crystals alleviated that. I want to explain that the anxiety a little more. For me, this anxiety that I felt in that place, it felt like something had gone haywire. It felt like something was in a state of overload. And all of these emotions, these very intense emotions, were passing through that one spot, that one chakra. That was like the center of it all. And it felt like the emotions were just running out of control. Fear, anxiety, mainly fear and anxiety. But it was this sensation of instability and like something was stuck in such a way that it was creating this very unsettling, disruptive, emotional chaos in a sense. So I was, of course, happy about that. I was so happy to finally find relief from this anxiety that had stuck to me for so many years. And mind you, this was an anxiety only triggered by the act of traveling by plane. Maybe a few other, there might have been a couple other situations in which it was triggered, but mostly it was plane travel. And, it had everything to do with that traumatic experience on that flight when I was 12 years old. So I was really happy about finding some relief, of course. And so I, went about continuing to do my thing, my crystal work and self work. And a few months ago, I was playing a Reiki video for inner child healing. and I noticed that I was feeling this healing right there in the crystal chakra. So, you know, a light bulb turned on in a way, and I realized that the crystal chakra is where the inner child sits. The crystal chakra is where our inner child is still present and experiencing emotions, whether you know, regardless of what's going on in your present day reality, the inner child can still experience emotions that he or she experienced way back when. And for me, that was this uncontrollable anxiety around travel. But I felt that healing in that direct location. And so I wanted to share with all of you. First, I just wanted to share about this crystal chakra, but also this discovery of locating my inner child. And I mean, I'd love to hear from other people if, you know, if they've happened to work with the inner child and, you know, whether or not they feel it in that same area. Maybe it's different for other people. I don't know. You know, like I said, there's not much info about the crystal chakra, and I've never come across any information about where within the body, within the energetic body, where the inner child is located. But I wanted to share that I experienced my inner child right there in that crystal chakra. And that was significant for me because it gave me a specific location to use crystals for that purpose of healing the inner child. And it also gave me an awareness of why I might be feeling stuff in that area, you know, what the feelings in that chakra might be connected to. You know, now if I'm feeling something in that chakra, now I can connect it with inner child stuff and things from the past. But I just wanted to share that discovery of mine with all of you. And I also wanted to share about a couple crystals that I think are helpful for the crystal chakra and for the inner child. And the first one is a very unusual crystal. And this one is called yellow brucite. Now, as you can see, this has a very odd shape. Very unusual looking. So yellow brucite, or brucite in general, was discovered in like 1824, sometime around then, by a man in New Jersey named Archibald Bruce. And this New Jersey is where this mineral was first discovered. And this is a magnesium hydroxide. I believe that's the chemical composition. It's a magnesium-based crystal. And it's found in the US, but it's also found in a number of other countries around the world. So, first of all, this pale, well, not pale, but my specimen is a little on the pale side, but a lot of pieces of yellow brucite are vibrant yellow, more so than this. And that shade of yellow really, I find it does resonate with the crystal chakra and of course the solar plexus. Now, brucite is all about, brucite is a very enlivening kind of crystal. It's described as filling you with light, with bright, shining light. And it really does feel that way when you meditate with Brucite, particularly the yellow colored one, because Brucite can come in a variety of colors. But the yellow color, it really is a feeling of being surrounded by a bright yellow light and just feeling that energy of the color yellow. It's energizing. It's all about getting down to the core of what you want in life and what your true desires are. You know, the kind of stuff that resides within the solar plexus and also in the heart chakra. But with the solar plexus, it's more about your willpower and confidence and going after what it is you want. And Brucite puts you in touch with the things that you truly desire, and this crystal can help you align with those things that you want and fill you with a higher vibration. This crystal can help raise your vibration and kind of help you pave the way towards manifesting the things that you want. It's also, when I hold this crystal, I feel kind of a sense of excitement and sometimes a sense of joy. And Brucite is also a very powerful channeling crystal. And that means channeling anything. Channeling yourself, your higher self, channeling your inner child, channeling your spirit guides or your guardian angel. Brucite is quite a powerful channeler. Kind of just opens the channels to whatever it is you're seeking. So it makes me think of the inner child when I think about the properties of this crystal, because, you know, the inner child, our inner child knows what gives us joy. Our inner child knows what makes us happy, you know, what we really want. And the inner child isn't weighed down by all of these adult expectations and societal expectations. And so Brucite can help you get in touch with those desires that your inner child would probably agree with. So that's one crystal for crystal chakra work and inner child work. Another crystal that can resonate with the inner child is a special form of quartz. And this type of quartz is called candle quartz. So you can see it's just one main point, but it's got this layer of outer crystals that kind of look like melted wax. And that's why it's called candle quartz. Now this piece is also a generator quartz because the termination has 6 sides. And so any kind of quartz that has a point with 6 sides, 6 more or less even sides, is a generator. Now a generator quartz does what you would think it does. It generates energy. And this energy generation can be used for, I mean, just about any purpose, but it can be used for energizing your aura, your energetic body. It can be used for clearing and balancing the chakras. It produces a steady stream of energy. in a way that other crystals or other types of quartz do not. So it's a very powerful stone. Candle quartz is very powerful, but the fact that this is a generator as well makes it a little more so. So this stone can also, kind of like the Brucite, this stone can help you get in touch with what gives you joy. When I hold this stone, I feel a lot of energy around me. It feels very clear, like clearing energy, like clearing away low vibrations. This is a very grounding stone. It's very earth-based. And when I hold it or meditate with it, it does resonate with the crystal chakra or the inner child. And in my experience, I feel like candle quartz imparts an energy of joy that can be felt within the crystal chakra. And I believe that that alone can be healing for the inner child, just a feeling of joy, an energy of joy. But this is a variety of quartz that can be used for manifestation. It can be used for focusing your energies, clearing away things that are no longer needed. This is also a stone that is very useful for healing of the past, healing your own past, healing past lives, healing karma, healing ancestries. It's quite powerful in those respects. But it's soothing. I would say that this is a pretty soothing crystal within the area of the crystal chakra. So it's great for your inner child. So that's all I have today for the crystal chakra and my own inner child discoveries. I will include a link to Lourdes's video for Reiki for the crystal chakra in the description box below. And as always, I encourage you to leave a comment or question down below the video. If you've experienced anything similar to what I described or something different, I'd love to hear from you. And once again, thank you so much for vibing with me.